Hi guys, and welcome to our lesson today on converting from general form of a circle equation to standard form. So first of all, let's take care of our normal. We're going to find the center and the radius of the circle, then we're going to put it in general form. So this equation right here is already in standard form. When an equation is in standard form, we can see that our center, we'll just do C for center, is our H value, which is the 3, and our K value, which had to be negative 8, in order to change this to a positive. Now our radius, lowercase r, this, remember, is r squared. It's going to be the square root of r squared. So our radius would equal 10 units. Okay, now we're going to put it into general form. To do that, we're going to let the algebra lead our way. We have our x minus 3 squared. We're going to take care of that first. That equals, if you remember, you square your x. You take this negative 3 and you double it. Put an x with it. And then you do negative 3 squared. Then we're going to take our y plus 8 squared, follow the same procedure, because we're just adding these things. So I'm going to have y squared, double the 8, it's a positive 16y, and then 8 squared is 64. All right, now I'm going to kind of combine these two. I'm going to write my x squared, and then my y squared, then my minus 6x, my plus 16y. I'm going to combine my 9 and my 64 to have that equal a positive 73. Now remember, it was equal to 100. The last thing I have to do to get this into general form is to have it set equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract my 100 from both sides. And then my equation of my circle, make myself straight here, in general form is x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 16y minus 27 equals 0. Okay, so now we're going to work on, in this lesson, taking it from this general form and putting it back into standard form. This is our general form. Notice we're equal to 0, and we're going to get to our standard form. To go from standard to general, we just follow the algebra. To go from general back to standard, we are going to use completing the square. Okay, so now let's do a couple examples together. This is already equal to 0, and it is in general form. We want to convert it to standard form so that we can see our center and our radius. First thing I'm going to do, step 1, is I'm going to group my x values, and I'm going to leave a space for completing that square, and I'm going to group my y values, and I'm going to leave a space for completing the square. And then remember, when we're in standard form, we're no longer equal to 0. So I'm going to take this positive 18, this constant here, and I'm going to move it over to get a negative 18. Okay, so that's step 1. Now I'm ready to complete the square. Completing the square is not difficult. Can you divide by 2? I'm sure you can. And then can you square them? Pretty sure you can do that too. So you're just going to take your b value and divide it by 2. Whatever that equals, in this case it's a negative 1. I'm going to square it, and I'm going to add it here. Come to this b value, divide by 2. It equals a negative 9. I'm going to square it, and I have 81. Okay, so now I've completed the square. What do I do next? Remember, I'm trying to get to standard form. So let's see. I have x squared minus 2x plus 1. I have to write that as some sort of a, x plus or minus something squared. What goes right here? Same thing that's in these parentheses right here. And then I'm going to have my plus sign, and I have to have some sort of a y plus or minus something squared. Yep, you guessed it, same thing that's in the parentheses. Now, I have a negative 18 over here, but my equation is not balanced. Remember, I added 1 to this side of the equation, but I didn't add it over here, so I need to do that. Also, I added 81 on this side of the equal sign, and I didn't do it here, so I need to do it on this side. Now I'm ready to simplify. So I have x minus 1 squared plus y minus 9 squared equals, when I simplify, I get 64. Now it's super easy. I've converted to standard form, capital S for standard, and I know my center is my 1 and my 9. Remember, the minuses are with the equation. And then my radius is going to equal the square root of 64, because this is my r squared value. There you go. All right, let's take a look at another example. Then we're going to get you guys going. Okay, let's try to speed it up here. Step 1, I'm going to group those x's. Something that's happening with the little tab here, 22x. I think I'm hitting a little button. Let's see. Leave space to add completing the square. Space for completing the square. And now I'm going to move my positive 193 over to make a negative 193. Next step is that divide by 2. Then when I square it, divide by 2. When I square it, now I'm getting close to my standard form. X minus 11, get that value from the parentheses. Y minus 9, negative 193, but I added 121 on this side. I got to add 121 on this side. I added 81. I got to add 81 to keep the equation balanced. Simplify. Now I know my center and my radius. So I'm in standard form. My center is 11, 9. The negatives are with the formula. Square root of 9. Okay. All right, how about you guys try this one? Pause the video. Come back. Check your answer. Don't forget that when you have a plus sign here, that means that was a negative value. Okay, and then try another one. Let's see if you can work to this one. Okay, here we go, our last example. Now, when we start with this one, I want to show you this one because I don't have anything extra with the y's. I'm still going to follow the same procedure. Complete the square. And then I don't have anything, which means that my y value is going to be 0. And I'm going to have equals 8. I'm still going to divide by 2. I get 1. I'm going to square that. So now I have x plus 1 squared plus y squared equals 8. Don't forget to add the 1. So this is going to be 9. So now my center here is a negative 1, 0. Y squared by itself is just like y minus 0 squared. My radius is going to be the square root of 9. There you go. All right, guys, that's it. That's the last bit of our information with changing from standard and from general to standard form and finding the center and the radius. In our next lesson, we're just going to be doing a circle review to prepare for our summative. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you soon. Have a great evening. Bye.